Hello and welcome to Simply Free Little Talk. Today I have a special guest. I work with this amazing man. He is very wise in the area of instructions of firearms training. He is the man who can certify you and get you where you need to be to protect your home, protect yourself, and always know that he is available to train and teach. And so I just want you to meet Instructor Daniel Hunt. Hello, Mr. Daniel Hunt.
Hello. How are you? How are you, Miss Free? How you doing today?
I am so glad. I'm finally glad. I'm really glad to finally get you here on the show because a lot of people have so much of a misconception about firearms and your company, Last Option Defense. I want you to
Yes,
tell me
yes.
all about that.
All right. Well, I'm just glad to be here, and that's what I do. I started a business called Last Option Defense, where we go and we certify citizens of Texas how to obtain their license to carry. It used to be called concealed handgun. Now you can carry open or concealed. So it's a privilege of mine being one of the top instructors in the state of Texas, and
Right.
I really enjoy doing what I do. And we certified, a few thousand folks in the last few years. Now I'm grateful for
Wow.
that opportunity.
I'm loving it. I'm actually just welcoming some people into the show. Hello, Miss Cynthia Lacey said she's taking your class and she's very
Awesome.
blessed and grateful that she has her license. So
Cool.
many
Awesome.
people are grateful.
Right.
I'm one.
Yeah.
I'm actually, guys, let me just try to see if I could stand and you can see the t-shirt of Last Option Defense. Because
Oh
I'm
yeah.
telling you, he brings a great insightfulness. So share with everyone that's tuned in how important it is to have your license.
It's very important to obtain that license. We all know the House bill passed last year
Mhm.
where you're not required to have a license anymore. And some people was very excited. They said just get the gun, but that's really a bad idea. Having a license still have perks, even though it's not
Yes.
required. For instance, if you want to go buy your weapon, you go to the store, you give them your handgun license, you get your weapon, you're out of the store. If you want to travel to other states, you can go to 37 different states with your Texas handgun license. Whether
Wow.
if you don't have a license, then you just stuck in Texas. I like to travel, so everywhere I go, I like to carry my weapon with me. So you just go get a gun and put it on, have no training at all. You're actually a bigger threat than some of the crooks because you don't know what you're doing at all. So it's best to
Absolutely.
get that training.
And that brings me to your training engagement techniques that you do. I've watched you many times instruct individuals. You're very detailed. So, with that being said, there are some very important tips that's law that you teach us, like how to read the signs when we go into public places.
Correct. So that's one of the advantages of taking the class. Those of you who never took the license to carry course, don't mistake that because you don't have a license that the laws don't apply. You still could be in violation. So people who take the class, they understand. They go to a business. If they look at the sign and it tells you how you can and how you cannot carry. If you violate that sign, then you're in violation. If you go to an establishment that sells 51% of alcohol and you go in there with a weapon, you're in violation. But
Mm,
you don't get that training unless you take those classes. And so it's very important to know those things. And it's also important to know when you can and cannot shoot. And I give my students techniques on when you can and when you cannot shoot, or which gun to use. Like right now, I'm in my home right now. Say somebody break in, I
yes.
have multiple guns. But what's the best gun for your house? I tell you that all the time. The shotgun.
The
This shotgun here
shotgun.
is a
Yes.
very unique
Y'all see
weapon.
that?
It covers a
At his
lot of
home.
ground. Yeah, in my home. So if I'm in my office, somebody breaks in, you hit this one time and you good to go. Or
Wow.
and for the ladies, if you want to get cute, they got pink weapons for you, different types of colors. But having a pretty pink gun is useless if you can't use it. So I got to teach you how to pull the slide back, how to put the clip in, how to clean. Those things are important. That
That's
taking the
it.
class will benefit from that. Very important.
Yes. Well, I'm grateful for my license. But let me go back and share with everyone that you are more than just the instructor of your business. You actually have a long-standing history of law enforcement. Can you share with us what your qualifications are for this?
Correct. So I started my career in law enforcement, if you will, with
Mhm.
TDCJ. Texas Public Criminal Justice. I spent 22 and a half years working inside those walls. Started off as a regular correction officer, and I really enjoyed working for the state of
Yes.
Texas. I was a correction officer, a sergeant, lieutenant, captain, and I'm retired as the rank of major. But in that process where I was with the state of Texas, I've got a love for weapons, going through different trainings. So in the
Mhm.
prison, I became a firearms instructor. So I was actually one that helped teach people how to shoot and in service, that kind of stuff. So I was an instructor, but I wasn't making no money as far as instructor. So it was fun.
Yes.
So when I found out that I could make money teaching people how to shoot and how to protect their families and make a living off of it, then it changed. That's when I started my company. I started the Last Option Defense, and it was just I had no idea it was gonna go to that magnitude. Where we was going to
Absolutely.
different cities, Waco and Corpus Christi and Beaumont, Kirbyville, you name it. My company was there.
All
We had
over
office on the
Texas.
south side, office on the north side. It was
Yes.
just, it was everywhere. But it started off actually working behind those prison walls. So I thought about that. And so even to my current career now as a security director for Morgan Hospital, it's the same process. So I always been security my whole life, protecting and
Wow.
serving, no matter what I've done. It's always involves weapons and be safe at it.
Yeah, and to be safe. Well, let me just share this with everyone. Most of my family have their license because of Instructor Daniel Hunt and his company. But many of former colleagues of mine, 'cause I also work for TDC, but I get that you saw the need because my 30 some years of correctional work, or 26 years, and then of course
Hmm.
continuing on outside with my business with offenders, I know now that it's very crucial that you understand how to properly use a weapon. Is there
Properly use
such
it.
a way of improperly using a weapon?
Yeah, of course, of course. Putting the weapon in the wrong hand. Give an example on yesterday. It was such a tragic event yesterday where you had
Uh,
a family member playing with a weapon. Let's say like this. He was showing a 9 and 7-year-old how to pull
mm,
the hammer back, and then he put the gun down.
wow.
So when the kid got the gun, he pulled the hammer back, put the finger on the trigger, and it shot the 4-year-old brother. I mean, those
Oh,
kind of things you
wow.
have to really take precaution on. You got kids in the house. Where your weapons at? So putting guns in the wrong hands is very bad. And a lot of parents are making a
Mm,
big mistake by having weapons in their house and just leaving them just everywhere. You don't know where the weapons at,
you don't know
and
where
you're
it's
trying to
at.
hide them. And when the kid finds it, something bad's gonna happen, and you'll be responsible as parents.
Yeah.
You know, so it's good to get that training. If you go buy a brand new gun right now today, you go to the store and buy your brand new gun and bring that gun home and never fire that gun, never pick that gun up. When somebody come break in your house and rob you, attack you, you're gonna be useless. All you got is a paperweight because you have
Wow.
no training. So I enjoy
No
taking
training.
my clients to the range, let them hear that sound, let them feel that power of the weapon, let them see the smoke so they can respect what that firearm can do.
Wow. Well, you have a lot of greetings. Let me go down the list. My sister in love, Darlena. Joe is on the line. I mentioned Miss Cynthia Lacey and your former employee, Miss former Captain Valicia Burns, and then
Hey,
others who
okay.
did not know you, but they're tuning in because I told them how amazing you are. And that he's local, guys, but he'll travel outside of
Oh
Texas.
yeah. I'll definitely travel. Like I said, we have multiple vehicles, so wherever the class is at, we're there.
Yes.
We go all over the state. So my philosophy is, if you have four or five more people, then we actually in the Houston area, we actually bring the class to you. When I travel to Dallas or Waco or Kirbyville, those are my much larger groups. So I've done
Yes.
groups small as one person. I've done them
Hmm.
as large as 102 people that we train. And that
That's
when it
great.
get that big, I bring other instructors with me to help me get the range and safety stuff
Yeah.
like that. So we've done them at all different sizes,
All
all different
areas and
sizes,
all sizes.
all sizes.
Wow.
I think in 2020, I was fortunate enough to be one of the top 3 instructors in the whole state of Texas. No
Oh,
one
did
has
y'all hear
certified
that?
more people than Last Option Defense. No one. So
Wow.
it was a blessing to be able to do that, and to do it with people like Miss Free, people like that. I never had a website. It was all word of mouth. It was all
All word of
family
mouth.
members, people telling people, and that's the best kind of
Hmm.
business you can do when people refer you, and that's how I got most of my
That's true.
clients. You
Yeah.
know,
We had people for the Galveston classes coming from Houston and Beaumont and even Sugar Land as far as just outside of Houston to come to the classes. So people know of your reputation. And I love the fact that you stressed that. Did y'all hear that he's the top three
yeah,
instructors?
yeah,
So you're not just getting someone who's an instructor, you're getting someone that's in the top of his class, the top elegance of his wisdom. And he's giving you a training that you can take somewhere else and you be safe in your home and outside of your home. Tell us about one specific thing that stuck with me about having my weapon not just in my car just because I have a license. What is that? I don't want to say it. I want you to tell them, where should our weapons be?
So that's a good question, especially with all the carjacking that's going on and the robberies. If you have a weapon in your vehicle, it is best to have that weapon, what I always call a one-hand motion retrieve. So if you drive in your car, the weapon should be where your other hand can easily get it. So either right by the seat, it could be by your lap, but where the weapon should not be at is under your seat. It should not be in the glove department, because when I come rob you, attack you, assault you, rape you, you got to stop and look in the glove department, get your gun. You might just get a bat. So it's good to have your weapon where you can easily get to it. You hold the steering wheel, and you can still be able to grab your weapon to defend yourself from any intruder. But that takes practice. It takes muscle memory. You can't just have a gun and just keep it at home and keep your gun in your glove department in the holster. It does you no good at all. You should be very, very you should be able to close your eye with your gun and load it and unload it with your eyes closed. That's how good you should be. And if you can't do that yet, then you need some more practice.
Well, Mr. Hunt, you have some questions. You know, Captain Burns gonna try. She's gonna school you. She gonna make you show them that you know what you're talking about.
That's my girl. I
and she said it, and also my sister-in-law, Miss Darlene Joe, said that that's a stand-up guy. And my sister also stated, and that's Miss Burns, everyone, that you are an amazing, great leader. So with that being said, her question is, if someone, this is good, everybody listen up, because he's going to give you the answer. If someone breaks in my house and he starts running away, can I shoot him?
That's a very, very good question. I'm glad you asked that question, because the answer is a little tricky. So if, let's say I break into your home and I'm inside of your house and you catch me in the very act in your home, my back is against you and I'm trying to run out the door and I'm still inside the house. In Texas, you can use deadly force inside the residence. As long as he's inside, doesn't matter if you shoot him in the back of the head, in the back, as long as he's inside the home, you're covered. Once I go outside, you come outside and chase me and shoot me outside, then it becomes murder for you. Texas considers the perpetrator no longer a threat once I leave the threshold of your door. So that's very important to know. Not only that, it's also important to know is when I do legally shoot you inside of the home, when do I stop shooting you? People think I'm supposed to shoot you and shoot until I empty the clip. No, you shoot, you stop when the threat stops. You can't just go shoot somebody, go over their body, shoot them like 8 more times. It can either turn to murder for you. So when the threat stops, your force stops.
Wow. Did you guys hear that? Because we always hear, I'm going to just shoot him any kind of way. So this to me is so apropos that you're on the show tonight to share with us the truth of the matter, because a lot of people think because of the law that's passed, I can just buy me a gun, I can carry my weapon any way I want to. But just tonight, you've given 7 different reasons why I need to go through training.
Yeah.
You just gave us
and what's most important too, Ms. Free, is the mental capability, because just because you can legally shoot somebody, don't mean you should. For instance, I try to come rob you or whatever, and you put your gun out at me and you stop me. At that point, the threat is gone. Now, if I shoot somebody, I gotta keep in mind that this is somebody's son, this is somebody's brother, this is somebody's family member. So I gotta make sure that that's my last option. And if it is, I'm taking a shot. And if it's not, then I won't. That's just me. But some people out there are trigger happy, and they will bait you in to come to them so they can legally kill you.
Wow.
And you gotta be real careful with that as well. This new law right now is out of control. All the murder rates that's going on right now in our city, the robberies. And if you own a business, you need to get your weapon inside your business. If any business owner.
I'm glad you said that, because I know that you and I have marketed for him, Little Business Consultant. And one of the things that I love that he does is, if you're a business owner, listen up. If you're a business owner, he'll work with you and your staff so that you can protect the business. But here's the good catch to that. The caveat is that you have a license now for your own safety, your own protection.
Correct.
And you know the laws that would not or help you not go to jail. Tell them what happens every time your firearm is used in an incident.
Well, not just used, but let me say this. Anytime your firearm is pulled out of your holster to point at someone, At that point, that's reportable offense. You cannot just pull your gun out and point at somebody and just put it back up, because these are the days that everybody has cell phones. They ride by and you got your gun pointed out, and I got my phone on you. In that case, you're the bad guy. When the gun comes out, you got to report that. And every shooting that you do, that's why it's very, very important to have more than one gun. Every shooting that occurs, your gun will be confiscated until they're done with the investigation, no matter whether you're right or wrong. So if you only got one gun and they take your gun from you, then you're stuck. That's why I have multiple guns.
Yeah, more.
And that's just part of the investigation. They do that to get the prints, to make sure, because what people don't understand is, let's say for instance this weapon right here is sold everywhere, right? And you think it's the same. They're not the same. Inside of every weapon is what you call prints. So no barrel is the same. So they would know exactly what bullet came out of that gun. It's pinpoint, it's precise. So that's why it's very important to take the weapon for you, just to do ballistics to make sure that what you did was correct. And those guys are pretty good at what they do investigating.
So they're very thorough. Well, as yourself, you're very thorough. Everything that you're telling us, I know that if you're taking notes, you understand that, first of all, he's one of the top 3 in Texas instructors. His company, Last Option Defense, is very detailed in making sure that you know. Again, he's giving you already 10 reasons why you need to have his training.
Correct. And it's so important to understand that weapon. It's so important to understand just because you have it doesn't mean you have to use it. But it's good to have it. I mean, I don't care. And a lot of people saying, well, I don't really need one. I've done more people now who's senior citizens. I trained more senior citizens in the pandemic than I did the whole 6 years, because those are the ones now that criminals are targeting. Women and senior citizens. That's who they want to come rob. And I'm doing my best to get those people trained. And I do it in such a way where it's fun for them. It's because everybody don't learn on the same level. I wouldn't train an 80-year-old, and I have trained 80-year-old before, same way I would a 22-year-old. It's more in depth. That's why I come to your home. We go over step by step. If you have a business, I come to your business to show you what weapons should be where, what gun you should have there, which employees should have the weapons, all that. Even your churches. I've trained so many churches and pastors and clergy. Don't go robbing churches in Houston, because they pack. I trained them. They pack them. Yeah. So you
especially in Galveston County, we have trained some pastors, and
I think everybody in Galveston got weapons now. I think I've trained the whole county down there, so which is a blessing.
Yes, he has.
Yeah. But and what the other guy I like is so I've experienced where 4 of my clients had to use force, and I was even there for them after the fact. It's for someone called to even thank me for being able to use it, because they was attacked by by boyfriends or this and this, or tried to be sexual assaulted, and because they knew how to use their gun, they just called and said thank you. Like, hey, don't thank me, you shot somebody, but I understand what they meant. They meant thank you for letting me, being able to use it.
Wow. I tell you, people need to understand that safety is so crucially important, and he teaches safety. He will take you to the gun range, so you can book a session with him, and he will train you the safety of a weapon. And of course, all this costs, these are fees. This is his business, guys. But when you walk away, you're going to walk away with greater knowledge than you did when you first met him. So you're going to learn that. And he said it. He said he'll come to your house, he'll come to your church, he'll come to your business. So why not trust Instructor Daniel Hunt? Why not?
And then even the refreshers. Some people already have license, but they haven't had because I'm doing it for like maybe 6-7 years now, and some of them haven't shot their gun since then. So you call me back up. We go to the range for a refresher. It'd be a 1-on-1. I show you how to use that gun again, how to how to unjam it. So that way, it's very important to get those refreshing courses. And those are only $40 a course. We go to the range. It's just me and you. We spend an intimate time together with those weapons, with the ammo, just to get some techniques. That's important.
I think I want to establish a girl day, because I know a lot of the ladies that I encourage to take the course, and myself, we need to be refreshed on what we previously learned. I mean, we can give you some of the answers, but when it comes to hands-on, you just mentioned something about when we're in our car. I would love for you to practice with me and my crew of how to grab our gun for our own safety.
And the refresher is so important that DPS require us to go to Austin every 2 years to get refreshed. So we got to get it as instructors. What thing you got to do is some of y'all ain't getting it.
That's right.
We have to go to Austin every 2 years for a refresher. So it's just important.
And it's only a 4-hour course, guys. He makes it so fun. It just, the time goes by so quickly, and he is engaging with you. It's an interaction continuously from the first hour to the last hour. And that's what I enjoy about his classes. So
Now,
I
I
wanted
will
to
say this
say,
too, Miss Free.
oh, go
Some
ahead.
people, who want to buy one. This is a AR-15. So
Y'all
if you
see
want
the
to get one of these,
AR-15?
you might want to get one now, because I know it's on the table now. President do want to ban these. Now, don't get me wrong.
Oh,
No one really needs one, but they sell them, so I want one. Anything they sell, I want. But those are good weapons to have.
no.
If you want to get
Yes.
one, it's best to get one now, because if it ever get to a situation where
Mhm.
it's a multiple shootout or whatever, you're at home, whatever, you need something to fight back with.
That's
So if
true.
you want to get one of those AR-15s, I do recommend it. But it's not good for home defense, because if you break into my house, I shoot you with that weapon. The bullet going through the wall to the neighbor house all the way through, because they're made for
Ooh.
mass attack. So you want one, you get one before they ban them.
Yeah, but the important thing again with any weapon is we need the training.
Training, very important.
The
Guns are
training
not
is
bad. It's
crucially
people who don't know what
important.
they're doing that makes it bad. Guns are, I
Wow.
mean, yeah, it's just good to have. And then if you want, like this weapon here, is one of my favorites, a tactical weapon. And here you have a
Oh,
light
that's
there. I have
cute.
a laser, and it's very, very powerful. It's a German-made weapon. It holds 19 in the clip. So if it ever get out
Wow.
of hand, I got a lot of firepower. So that's
I think I
important to
like
have all
that.
that.
I
Yeah,
think I like that.
yeah. And
I
taking my
like that.
class, if you a rookie shooter, which is great,
Mhm.
because I bring all my guns to the class.
Yes, he
You can shoot
does.
multiple guns, see what you like, what you don't like. That way, before you buy a weapon, you already tried out several ones, see what you like.
Yes, and that's
Mhm.
good. That's very important. He's not just someone you just show up and you do your 4 hours and you leave there and you don't know what you knew any more than when you
Mhm.
showed up. You're gonna leave there knowing and being able to tell someone. That's why the word of mouth was so important with your
Yeah.
training. Everyone was still. I still receive phone calls. Man, when can
Wow.
I get? And I just forward them to you because people want to be protected. They want to feel safe and they want to have the knowledge of each weapon. So again, everyone, contact Mr. Hunt. We'll put your number up
Yes. You put the number
in
up
and all
there.
the information and go back in and put the location where they can reach out to you and just
Okay.
schedule your appointment.
Yeah,
Go
just
to the
schedule. It's
fire
real
range
easy to
with
do.
me.
You can just send a text. You can call
Yeah,
and make an appointment. We do them. I still do them 7 days a week. So my class is doing a week right now, because I do
mhm.
work full time. So during the week, I do training after 4 o'clock on weekends. We do them all day. And
All
as I
day.
said, we do travel. No one is too far. And if you are too far, I have instructors that work for me who can reach out to you. So and under
That's
the same
true.
umbrella of Last Option. So there's nobody that we can't reach out and touch, from Waco to Beaumont to Corpus Christi.
Yeah.
Nowhere we can't touch you at to get you trained.
Also, let them know that you're outside of Texas as well.
Yeah, well, outside in a way, meaning a lot of people do come here to get their gun
Uh
license,
huh.
because
They do.
we don't really teach outside the state.
Yeah,
But if say you live in Florida, you want to come here and get your training. When you go to Florida, your Texas license is good in
it's
in, in
still
that
good.
uh, in that state. It's good, so that's important to know as well.
Yeah, I just
As
wanted them to
well.
know because I have friends that's from Georgia and, like
Oh
you said,
yeah,
Florida that want to come Louisiana and get the training. I just wanted them
come
to
on
know that
down.
they can reach out to you.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. And the only catch that is I have to conduct the training for those states here in this state, but it's
Yes.
good in
Yes.
your state. So yes,
Yeah.
and it's
And it's
good.
good in your state, and that's the good
Hmm.
thing because people who say it all the time they're looking for a good instructor. I highly recommend this gentleman here. He's the one. He's thorough. He's going to make sure that you even know your state because we had someone from California in
Yeah,
your training. And he made sure that that lady left Texas knowing the rules and regulations for California.
because it's
So
so
he did.
strict. You can't always go to every state thinking like Texas. Texas allow you to have unlimited guns on you. I can carry right
Yes.
now on my belt 10 guns, 200 bullets, 3 AR-15s. Where in California, I'm limited on how many guns I can carry, how many
Yes.
bullets I can carry. So it's important to know where you're
Wow.
going as well. If you want to fly on the flight, it's ways you got to do that in order to carry a gun on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
Steps you got to take, and all that stuff is what we train on. We don't leave nothing off the table for you. The
Wow.
class goes so much in depth on what DPS requires to teach. We go over and beyond the requirement that
Wow.
DPS requires to teach.
And that's why it was so crucially important that you came on tonight because people again need to understand you again have given about 13 reasons why we need our license, why the training is important because we have people that I've been in public places. I can carry my gun anywhere I want to, but they don't
and
know the laws.
they don't know the
So
law.
kind of briefly share with us what are the symbols that we need to look for when we pack our weapon.
So it's only really three things you really got to remember. Those are some of the penal codes. That's 30.7 and 30.6. So those are the codes that governs how you carry your gun and where you carry your gun. Let's say I walk into a store, a Starbucks, and they got a sign up that says 30.7. All that simply says is I cannot carry a weapon in there that is open carry firearm. That means the gun has to be concealed. People want to walk around with their guns out like Rambo or like they, in the Wild Wild West, because Texas say you can do that. Some businesses say you can't do that. And once you do that, then you're in violation of that law. Or you go in there and you see two signs. One that says no open carry and no concealed carry. That simply means you can't carry. Doesn't matter what the governor said. It doesn't matter what the law said. If the business owner says no weapon in that business, you have to honor that request, or you are in violation of the law. And so people just taking that new law is that it's just there's no rules, and the rules still apply. It applies so much. DPS is required to put the training on the website. Who's gonna go in there and read the whole 500 pages of training? Nobody. And if you do read it, no one's gonna break it down like an instructor will break it down to you, the key points.
Yes.
So it's very important. And if you're gonna do it for nobody else, do it for your family.
That's true. Do it for the safety of, like you said, for your family. I want to be able to come home, and I like that. That's one of the catchphrases that you share with people. You want to come home at the end of the day.
Yeah, I want to come home.
You want to come home,
and I pray that every day so far. My firearm, I never have to use it except at the range, and I hope that continues.
Yes.
Only time I'm gonna shoot that gun, only time is at the range. That's it. That's my prayer and my hope. But the way our city is going, the way our county and the way that our state is going, it's just getting bad. People innocent has been taken out, just because they want to take your stuff. Let me share it with you. I know it's a little different, but even with these catalytic converter thefts, I tell all my clients, be real careful on how you approach those thieves, because they have all type of weapons with them while they're taking your converters. If you're in the house and you go outside and they under your car, don't go out there, because they got 3 other guys out there waiting for you to come outside, and they're gonna shoot and just kill you just for that. So that's what you got to know when you can and when you can't shoot, because it's legal don't mean it's smart. And in that case, you shouldn't do it.
My God, I know one of the scenarios that I wanted to mention that you often, as a scenario role play with your clients, the ones you're instructing, and you say, well, what if you walk into a place and you have your license, you have your gun on your hip, and the place is being robbed? What do you do?
Correct. Oh yeah. So I tell all my students that, because it's important to know, because if you go to a business and you say I'm at Papados and they get robbed, and I'm in there, I'm an instructor, I got a license and I got a gun. I ask my clients, what is your obligation? Some people say, well, I got to go in there, I got to help out, I got to save the day. And I'm like, no, you're not a bounty hunter, you're not a cop. Your obligation is zero. You can hide, you can run, you can get out. It's zero.
Wow.
But in Texas, you can act. If I'm in the business and they getting robbed and I got a pistol, I got a clear shot, and I hit them, I'm a hero. But if I miss and hit the one making the food, well, then I'm responsible.
Oh,
every bullet that leaves your gun, no matter who that bullet hit, is your responsibility. Never forget that.
And tell them what's the next steps. Your gun is removed from your possession.
You're going to remove from your possession, and that takes a while. Even if it's a legal shooting, it'll take a while to do the investigations. I mean, and every shooting, no matter what happens, it goes to a grand jury, no matter what. So they got to look at the shooting and say, well, was Mr. Hunt justified? Did he have to shoot? Did he have to shoot that many times? Could he have gotten away? All those things have been answered by the grand jury. And if it come back not in your favor, then it's not good. So if you're in a business and they get robbed, mind your business. Unless they,
I love it.
Unless they messing with you and your family, or trying to kill everybody in there. Other than that, if you have to register taking money from Papados, hey, that ain't my money. I want to go home at the end of the day. I'm not trying to be the hero. People get their gun and gun license and try to go around being a hero. Don't do that. Go join PD. If you can do it legally, save folks. But the average citizen, these weapons is for you and for your family for protection. It's not to go out there and try to be who you can. Because in Texas, you can stop anything. If you see a robbery going on, a rape, any kind of felony going on, the act of violence, you can defend. But you shouldn't be going around looking for that. Wow.
Trying to be the Wild Wild West or John Wayne. Yeah. That was a movie John Wayne played in.
Correct.
So I love it that you took the time to come on tonight. This is a
Thank you.
very busy man. I just want to give you your flowers. I love wisdom nuggets. So my wisdom to you is, oh my, not my wisdom, but just my appreciation to you is to thank you, because what he has created, what God has allowed him to create, is opportunity for others with employment. Others who have worked with him at TDC. I noticed my sister-in-law, Darlena Joe, stated that she worked with you for many years.
Many
And
years.
she talked about how you were a great guy, as well as Valicia Burns, my sister. The great thing that I love about what you do is you want to make sure that everyone is safe,
Yeah.
and you don't leave anyone behind. You have former colleagues who now work with you, and I
Yes.
appreciate that. You're always given an
That's very
opportunity.
important. I always try to give back, and I realize this, that no matter how you're
Mhm.
blessed to be a blessing. And so if
Yes,
God,
come on.
and I pray, my biggest prayer is God bless me so I can bless somebody else. Because He blessing
Oh,
me,
come on
that means
now.
I can bless somebody else. You know how many
Wow.
instructors I was able to bring in, and this is what this thing that gets me. A lot of times people make it to a certain level of success and want to keep it to themselves.
Come on.
I personally provided training, guidance,
Mhm.
hands-on to 12 different instructors who now instruct. People say, why you do that? They're
Yes.
gonna take some of the money from you. No,
Come
they're
on,
not.
talk about
You
it.
you feed people, it comes back. It comes
It
back.
comes back.
You know,
Yes,
so whatever you're
yes.
doing, be a giver, be a blessing to other folks, no matter what it is.
Mm.
And
Well,
God will
you've
continue to
already
bless.
answered. Look, you've already answered the next question. Give us some wisdom nuggets. You just gave it, and that's one of my favorite wisdom nuggets and one of my favorite scripture. Whatsoever good any man do it, the same shall he receive of the Lord. So it's so foolish of people to think that I'm gonna not tell Daniel Hunt about what I'm doing over
Yeah.
here, because he's gonna want to do that too. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, to think about it. So even in Texas right now, Texas has maybe I think like maybe 10, 20 million people who live in Texas.
Mm.
Only 2 million people got a gun license. It's enough to go around to everybody. I
Wow.
mean, it's not competition, because God's gonna always
All
provide
that.
for me, no matter what. No matter what. I mean,
Yeah.
even when I met you, Miss Free, I wasn't down on that side. I ended up meeting you some kind of
Mm.
way, and you just, I mean, took over the whole Gulf Coast area down there. I mean, just that type, and it helps.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
word of
yes.
mouth. And
Word
my
of
favorite
mouth.
scripture as a minister is seek ye first
See,
the
come
kingdom of God.
on.
If you do that
Oh, you
first,
all
and you
in
seek
my
Him first,
stuff.
everything else will come. You know,
It
you
will
ain't
be
worry about no
added to
car, no money, no
you.
house. Seek that first,
Yes.
and it just it'll pour out on you. My
Oh my
blessings just
God.
running
Yeah,
over.
you own it. You own it. You own
Yeah.
it. And those are the two scriptures that I just shared with people this morning on my Facebook page,
Wow.
because that's where I'm at. I believe in whatsoever good any man doeth, the same should he receive of the Lord. But also, when I first seek the kingdom of God and
You
his
do that first.
righteousness, all of the things gonna be added to me. I don't have no worry or fear to say, oh, I
Correct.
can't tell, Pastor Daniel that, because if I tell him,
Yeah.
he's gonna take my
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
It's no
And
idea.
people
God
don't
gives us
understand
all
that.
wisdom.
You just if you just chase God, the money
Just
chase
chase
you.
him. Come on
That
now.
the rest of it take care of itself. You chase Him,
Oh,
and all your enemies, all your
come
haters.
on.
They. I'm gonna say this. I know it's talking about gun, but this is what I really like about the whole thing. Sometimes even your enemies. I love the scripture. I used to always pray, Lord, move them. He's like, I ain't not move your enemies.
Come
They
on.
gotta sit there and watch you eat.
That-
I prepare a table before you, not in front of your
oh, come on.
friends,
That's mother
but in the
scripture.
presence of your enemies.
In
And
the
they can't eat. They
presence.
gotta watch in the presence.
They gotta
Yeah. And at
watch
first I
you.
was like, I ain't like that. I ain't want them to watch me. But God said, no. They gotta watch you. I'm not gonna destroy them. If I destroy them, then I prepare the table.
Yes.
I want them to see you. And I live by that every
And
day.
and you know what? I love that, because I do also. But let me tell you what I found out about why they have to sit there and eat. It's not even to mock or to make them feel any kind of way. It's for them to want what you are doing. Meaning that
Correct.
not what you're doing exactly, but it's for them to desire the God that you serve, so they too
Correct.
can release the strife and the envy and the
Yeah,
jealousy
they
and
can
the
let it go.
insecurities. Yes, let it go, so that they can also
Because
see he loves them as well.
and the people that make it to success, they need to tell people all the time on where they came
Wow.
from. And I always have to tell people that, you ain't always had. I know what it's like to be raised in the projects and to have nothing, and
Wow.
to share clothes with your siblings and all that. No, so you never forget where you come from. So when God
Never
elevates you,
forget.
you never forget
Wow.
that. Never ever forget that. And you know
Wow.
better than
Wow.
nobody else. You one accident away from being under their bridge, and never forget that.
Ooh. And that's a blessing that you even stated that. And then we're gonna close on that because that's a good place right there
Yeah.
to let people know that the blessings that God has showered you with is because you worked his principle of loving and giving and doing for others and with others so that they
With
can
others.
have a better opportunity and a better life. And so that's why God can't help but to follow his own principle. He's going to honor it. So that's why he's showering you down with the blessings. And I'm so glad that you came on the Simply Free Little Talk so that you can
Thanks
express
for having
what
me.
your business is about. Tell us again before we leave the name of your business and how we can contact you.
So the name of the business is called Last Option Defense. You can find me on Facebook at Last Option Defense and also on Instagram, Last Option Defense. If you want to call me, you can call me at 832-434-0296. We open for business every
Love it.
single day. Stay
I
protected.
love it. I love it. Thank you so much. I'm going to add that information when we get off the line. But again, everyone, just give your shouts out by sharing this, by putting up the hearts, and just thanking him for coming on the show. I'm grateful you on the show. I see all the hearts going up, and I see people have shared and shared and shared. And so I appreciate that because they need to contact you. We need to be
Yeah,
safe. And the best way to be safe is what? Understanding the rules and regulations that we're governed under.
that's a fact.
So thank
Thank
you
you for your
again.
time.
All
Stay
right.
safe.
Bye-bye, sir. Oh, that's look at that AR-15. That shotgun. I love it. Hey guys, that was so much fun. I really appreciate him and what he brings to the table. Again, I will put the information in the feed. You need to take the time, get a girlfriends group together, get an all guys group together, get couples together, whatever you do, get your church together, your ministry, get your girls book club together. You guys need to make an appointment with Mr. Daniel Hunt. Let me tell you, he just told you he is one of the top out of three. He's the top three in the state of Texas. He can train others in other states. They just have to come to Texas to receive their gun license. He is someone who takes the time, and that 4 hours, it passes by so quickly that you will think you just sat down in the seat. But let me tell you the great thing about him that I personally witnessed. When you leave his training, you will be fully equipped to know and recognize signs. You will know the rules, the laws, and the guidelines that's going to keep you safe and your family safe. Again, this is your host, Free Little, signing off today on Simply Free Little Talk. Thank you for tuning in. Bye bye.